Hello, Akko here again. Welcome to episode 27 of my 1.5.2 beta. Is it 27? Yep, it's 27. 1.5.2 beta. Still on 0.5. Now, the coke oven's busily working away. I made a shit ton of these barrels. They are really cheap when you add it up. What goes into it. I've got 1664 iron rings there. I got a bit carried away. The iron rings, 3 bits of iron, and that guy, blacksmith and hammer, gets you 64 of them rings. So they are really quite cheap. And then the actual barrels themselves, if I've got a barrel. Got any empties? No. There we go. Bit of glass, some wood. So I've got loads of glass, I've got loads of wood. And now I've got loads of iron rings as well, so I can make loads of barrels. So I'm just, at the minute, storing all that creosote in them barrels for now. And I'll worry about that a bit later. I've got quite a lot going on. I was just testing here. And they work. Okay, I was just testing here if the MFR planters and harvesters work with barley and cotton, and they do. The cotton was really, the barley was really slow though, I must admit. And so this little test setup using an energy cell. The cotton, it just takes the cotton off the thing, so it doesn't actually, so you don't need a planter there. It just harvests it. I was hoping it kind of give me seeds, but it doesn't give you seeds with that. So that was a little test. I don't think I'm going to use them. I will easily be able to get 9 things for that without using them, I think. And speaking of that, I have started setting that up here. I've got a farm here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into little 3x3 blocks, and I'm going to specify in here which goes in which bit. And I think that's how this works. And then I'm still need an upgrade, a tin upgrade, but this should maintain. So if I have, like, for example, carrots in that bit, depending on how this is orientated, then it should keep putting carrots in a 3x3 bit, and so on. If that's how it works, I need to test that. So, but this is going all right. Now, I've started making another boiler, and you can see it here. I've got all the bits for actually now for the next engine. I'm not going to make them just yet. I'm doing something else. I've messed around with the wiring and all that stuff. So this switch here turns on all the engines, and I'm going to spread this out. This is where my third boiler is going to be. This will be the liquid one for the ethanol, I think. This is another solid fuel one, and I've just run the liquid duct from that tesseract across, so that one tesseract will be putting water to all 3 of these. Like I say, this is all connected off one, and then I've changed this around a bit, so each one's going to have 3 energy cells on there. Disabled 100, yeah. These 2 are new, so I'll just disable that and bang them to 100 as well. And that one, well, I remember, disabled and up to 100. So these can only put out. Now it's actually separate lines as well. So each line of this puts out, what is it, 8, 16, 24, 48. Each one of these only puts out 48. So only 48 will be going into there. So I could set the input to 48, but and the output, but it doesn't really matter. So I've got that there. So I'll be able to. That one line runs. There's one power line runs underneath all these. That powers everything. That will, in theory, be able to put out 600. But that'll drain all these things down. But I'll have plenty of power. Even then 900 once that's done. Even though there'll only be 300 and 420 odd going in. 430 odd. So one thing I want to do though is, if we look at that thing I put on the wall again, coal coke, it'll run off 179 an hour, which we are producing, but to actually warm it up we need 3,485 of them, and we haven't got 3,485 yet. We've only got 698. But what I have got is, because I've been using that sawmill for ages, I've got 47,000 sawdust. It was 49,000. I've started automating this into charcoal. Now, the problem is, the workbench has changed, as I mentioned when I was in the other base, and look how slow it is. It's just really piss poor and slow. I don't know why they've done this. I don't know why crafting has to be slow. I don't really see the point of what they've done to the auto workbench. I don't know what it's trying to compete with. Obviously if you had Diecraft fabricators, they'd be in, because they just do it quick and don't cost any power. But as I ain't got that, I'm going to try this Cyclic assembler out. I want to see how that works. So I'm going to wire that up. That's the next thing I'm going to do now then. So what do we need for that? I've got a blank schematic, and I'm going to need, let's just take some of them to get it ready. So I've got a couple of things set up half ready here. So let's put our cyclic assembler there. It's got power, and I need to make the schematic, don't I? So I'll put the schematic there. Is that right? Put the blank. Okay, put the blank there. And that's not what I wanted at all. Come on. Okay, that don't work properly. There we go. So if I press the tick, 8 times sawdust gives us a compressed sawdust. So that should work. And I want the input to be that side, and the output to be that side. So now what I'm going to do is this little test setup here. Let's just wanted to connect that also workbench for you just to show you, but I'm not going to use that anymore because it's too slow. Sorry guy, you're too slow. And I don't see the point of, I don't really see the point of why they've changed it, but you know, I won't go on about it. Need one cable there just to cover up the gap I'm about to make in the wall there. Thank you. Let's put that there, and then all this sawdust can go back in there. Double clicking on something chucks it all in there, by the way, which works quite well. And let's get rid of that. And get rid of that, yeah. And everything else I think I need on me at the minute. So input and output. Precision export bus. I want precision because I want to be able to put stacks in if it needs to. And then basic import bus should be quick enough. And I've put all the sawdust away, haven't I? Dickhead. I should have kept a piece of sawdust. So that 47,000 sawdust should get us quite a few thousand charcoal. But it does of course have to be, once it's compressed sawdust, it needs to be put through the powered furnace as well, because it needs cooking. So it's still quite a lengthy process to make this into charcoal, but it should be alright. It should be alright. So let's see how this works. So there we go. That's making that nice and quick by the look of it. Oh, I think we need a quicker export bus, don't we? Of course we do. Awesome. So let's precision import bus. I meant import bus there. Sorry. Let's break that for a second, and let's swap that for this precision one, and set that to move stacks. So now we're making compressed sawdust at a decent rate, but of course we're using power. But we've got plenty of power. We're actually seeing it go down a little bit, which is quite cool, so we don't normally see that. So does that mean we're actually starting to pull a lot of power now? Maybe not. So I could always see how much that's pulling, but there we go. Cyclic assembler, one of the new machines, working nice and fast. Looks pretty good to me, that. The speed of that, I like it. I don't know why I haven't filled it all. So there's 50 or 1,000 there. This just can't keep up, can it? Because obviously, yeah. Of course, because it's just going in the same speed it's coming out, isn't it? So because it works on the same tick rate, the input and the output, so it's actually maintaining. So if I take these out, will it stay the same? No, it is gradually getting more full. Okay, I don't know why it's stayed like it was staying still though, didn't it? That's all good though. Okay, that's the first thing dealt with. Next thing, let's get some engines put in. This is really heavy on steel, if you remember. But that's okay, we don't mind. Got to use it for something, haven't you? Let's try and squeeze that in there. Come on, get in there. So that works really quick, doesn't it? Pretty cool, pretty cool. Still, I'd probably use a fabricator, as aircraft fabricator over it, because that works pretty much just as fast and it doesn't cost power. So, you know, right. Even them out. 36 steel gears. 18 of them. I need 54 of these across here, don't I? No, I don't. I need 18. Idiot. And then I just need a lot of pistons out of my thing there. So let's grab some pistons out of the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there we go, there's our industrial steam engines, and they can go on there, ready. So once we've got all this sawdust turned into charcoal, we can use charcoal to warm the boiler up, and then switch it once it's warmed up to the coal coke. So that's all good. Okay, so I'm going to cut there for now, and I'm going to finish connecting that up. I'm going to wait for a while, let all this process, because that's going to take, I've only got that one powered furnace processing 40,000 sawdust, so that's going to take a while. It might be time to start expanding my furnace setup. I shall look into that. But yeah, I'm going to break for now and back in a bit. So here we are on the next day, and my FPS might struggle a bit here because I am uploading again. I uploaded yesterday's episode overnight, and I tried playing it back. It all went wrong, and there was an error, so I've had to delete it and upload it again. So that's uploading now. I need to get that uploading, because if I don't do it now, it ain't gonna be up in time. And I kind of need to show you things here because they're at the point where I need to show you them. So if there is bad FPS at the minute, it's due to that. I'm actually at 36. So it should look alright. I'm down to 33 compressed dust in there. I've actually caught up overnight with everything. So what we can do now is, now that means I've got 10k charcoal, 10,095 you see there. I looked stuff on the boiler, the charcoal required to run a boiler, and coal coke's double coal. So coal coke gets you, I think, 6,400 heat. Coal is 3,200 heat. Charcoal is half of that again, so it's charcoal's 1,600 heat. So I think that was one of the changes made to boilers, so to make them a bit harder to run off just off burning wood and charcoal. I can't remember what wood is. Wood's probably the same. What's wood? Does it say? No, it doesn't say, does it? See, no, charcoal doesn't say either. They used to say. I'm sure they did. No, hang on, let's turn that on. No. Okay, they used to all have, where'd that other bit of coal go? Magic. Okay, well, what we can do though is we can start warming the boiler up. So 10k is not actually enough to fully warm it up. I need to keep an eye on it. It needs 13k, but I've only got single precision brush on here, I think, have I? So first of all I need to get in there, which is oh, I've got precision, cool. So I can put charcoal in there, set that to stacks, and that should start filling this guy up with stacks of charcoal. Come on, let me in. There we go. That's got stacks of charcoal in it. And what we can do is, actually, because I've been running this overnight, what's going on there? Oh, I've run out of bloody. See, that's the issue. Look, if that gets full and there's nowhere for the creosote to go, it'd just stop. And if I was relying on that for my coal coke, which I will be, then the boiler could run out of coal coke. Now, if we're looking here, we've actually got 4,000 coal coke, which, if you look at it, is enough to actually warm it up. 3,485. I need to sort out this creosote issue really quick though. Well, what we can do is we can add coal coke to that as well. So then when it runs out of charcoal, coal coke will go in there. So that's, as long as we get the coal coke going again, that's fine. So that'll stay full of charcoal until it all runs out. Oh, in fact, them two stacks there will probably stay. Them two stacks, or maybe even all three of them will stay as charcoal, because they'll start putting coal coke straight into here probably. Anyway, you can keep an eye on that. So we need to get some more of these barrels sorted. So I'm just going to grab some of this wood, make another stack of barrels while we're at it. I really need to work out what I'm going to do with all this creosote. I might make a shit ton of rails, you know, just have a big train tracker on my base just for the sake of it. I never really do much with trains. I've done a little bit in the past, but I've never done anything with trains since I've been recording, at least. So let's say 16 in each of these. Make sure we've got some stock. Yeah, look, they've all stopped. So this could be a massive issue. I need to actually make a, yeah, I need to make a better way of dealing with this, don't I? Because this is no good. This is no good. They can have 18. You can have 18. I need another 3 stacks. Let's get them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. And then it's quicker just get them out there because I know where they are. Right, what else have I been doing? Well, I've been looking at the setting up the biofuel generator, bioreactor, and I kind of want to make it efficient, but it doesn't really lend itself to efficiency. Well, it may be the way I'm doing it, but I'm not really setting it up very well, I must admit. I'll show you that in just a second once I've got them in there. I need to get them in because that's a priority at the minute. I could just void all this crew, so that's what I've done in the past. And I could double up the amount of cocoa ovens and try and get enough to run a boiler, but that's a different proposition that I'd have to look into. Right, so the biofuel reactor, that's the unifier, that's still there. I've still got a bit of ethanol in it. Have I made the boiler? Oh, I've made this boiler, yeah. So I made I've not wired it up or anything, but I've made the liquid fueled firebox there. So that boiler's actually made, it's just not ready to go yet. So this is going to be the one that uses ethanol. Now I've put the bioreactor over here. I've not finished setting this up yet. I'll put a light there just for now. But what this should do, and I've practiced it on here. Now this should work fine as long as there's enough item, as long as there's at least one of each item in the system. If there isn't one of each item, then the filter in this emerald pipe will just stop things going in, and it could stop the whole thing. But I need to see how quick it pulls. And I've done a little test of that similar setup with the farm over here. Now I'm not really sure if this is the best way of doing this. What I've tried here is just a little tryout. This is one planter and one harvester, but it's working carrots, potatoes, netherwort, cocoa and sugarcane. So it's doing it all. So the way we'll do that is I've got the planter there set up. So it's got a filter on this side, so I've put in potatoes, so it faces north. So we've got potatoes there and there, netherwort there and there, carrots there and there, cocoa beans there and there, and I've left a button in the middle so it can't plant anything in the middle, because in the middle it's just got these sugar canes just around the water source there. And of course they don't need a planter because the harvest doesn't take the bottom ones of them, it just takes the ones that grow higher. This is working. What I've done underneath is I've done this little setup here, same as over there. I've got an ME interface there, set to keep one of each of them 4 plantable items. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plantable and 1 not. So it's the ME interface there is set to maintain one of each of them items in here. There's the exported items, and what I've done is I've set up an emerald pipe there, which pulls one of them 4 items out. That's an insertion pipe. Insertion pipes are new from thermal expansion. And what they'll do is they'll always try and put into a machine if they can, and then there's a gold pipe there that brings things back in. So what I've got is a constant loop of them 4 products. You see it? And I'm pretty sure this isn't the best way of doing this, but I need to have a better think and work out a bit better. I think what that's doing is that's trying to keep them 4 stacks full. And I've just filled all the rest of this with buttons just so I don't fill it all. Because I don't need it. I don't need more than 1 stack of each in there. So that's whenever the harvester takes some, then of course the planter will replant some, and then this little loop here, which could be a laggy loop, but there's no risk of it overflowing or anything. It's completely safe from that. It's just got entities in the pipes constantly. That's maintaining them at stacks. So that's what I'm thinking of trying to do with the boiler, with the biofuel thing. Is my jetpack's run out. Wonderful. Is do the same thing with that, but I'm kind of confusing myself a little bit. There's extra complications that I'm giving myself. Now one of them is I'm going to use seeds, and I'm going to use melon seeds. Melon seeds need auto crafting from melon into melon seeds, of course, which I did in the Cyclic assembly. I've got a separate one for melon seeds there. I need to switch that over whenever I do that. But, so that's not fully automated yet. My problem's going to come when... So basically, let's add all this stuff. I can put saplings in there. I've got wheat seeds from the wheat farm, melon seeds from the processed melons from the melon farm, and then I've got all them products that are coming through from the other bit. So netherwort, cocoa beans, and then carrots and potatoes. Where's potatoes? Potatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 products. So that's getting me a quite high efficiency. And you can go to 9, but because of the way the ME interface works, I can only go to 8 anyway. So I could probably get a 9th in there. I could probably do a pumpkin farm or something. But that's the idea. Don't know if it's going to work. And unfortunately, I ain't really got anywhere to put the fuel until I decide to commit and put it into a boiler. But let's have a look how we can maybe work this here. Now the problem, of course, comes with the seeds, both the melon and the wheat seeds. Is son of a bitch. Is I've got them both. What are you doing? Stuck in the bloody slime block now. Get out. The problem with the seeds is I'm also going to be running seeds into here. So, who gets the seeds first? Will the seeds cause an issue? Will they all keep going in there? I don't think using the same type of seed is going to be beneficial. Well, I remember there is a new thing. Well, new as far as I can tell, in Manufacture Reloaded. There's a block that I've not seen before. I don't know if it's new. I need to check it out. It's called... Come on, where are you, block? Well, the laser drill I need to check out anyway, because that looks awesome. Fruit picker. So I'm wondering if forestry trees, the chestnuts and walnuts and stuff, I wonder if the fruit picker works on them, which means I may be making an orchard and testing out the fruit picker. I'll probably go into a test world and see if that works on the thingy tree. Then we can get the really nice things that drop loads of seed oil. So right, so the plan here is export config. Now I've decided to set it to keep a stack of each of them in rather than single. I should have brought a stack with me. The other way is doing it really slow like that. I'll just fill this up back in a sec. So here we are back again, and I can fill this up nice and quick using stacks. So carrots, saplings, seeds, and melon seeds. What I can do now, if I connect this up, which I already have done once, just to make sure it works alright, is connect that like so, and what that'll do now is that'll keep a full stack. That'll do its hardest to keep a full stack of each of these items in there. So as long as there's any of these items in the ME network, it'll try and maintain a stack's worth in there, yeah? So that's cool. The problem comes with, now, if I used, I suppose I could use an export bus on a different colour out of there. I may have to try that. That needs its own power source and stuff though, so still not good. The two options here that I've worked out up to now are wooden pipe, and what a wooden pipe would do is just keep trying to send cocoa beans in, so that'd get stuck in a loop. Emerald pipe, what I can do with the emerald pipe is I can set that to one of each item. And what's going on there? One of each item. Come on. Oh, I'm right clicking. I need to left click. Idiot. One of each item in there. So there we go. We've got 7 items, which is going to get us a pretty good efficiency. And oh shit, I already had that turned on. So that's going to do, as long as there's items in there, that's going to start sending them into here. But it's not doing it quick enough. Look. So what I need to do is get an actual stock of them in first. So now, because it'll slow this down, it should speed that. It should keep up. It should keep up. It might not keep up. This is the issue I've got here. It's going to keep up once this gets full, because then it's not going to have any work to do, because we've got no output for this yet. So that's kind of alright. So I might have to leave this for a day until we've got enough potatoes and carrots in the system, because there's only like 300 of them in, which is a bit of an issue. As you can see there, it's filling all these up in 10, and then it'll fill them up, and then it'll fill the empty slots up, which I don't really want it to do. So I should maybe get some more buttons for the empty slots. Once we've got more than a stack, it's going to get a couple of extra things in. Let me get a couple of buttons. So we've got 7 items in there, haven't we? 7. Yeah, so I need two buttons just to block that for now, so we can have things later. So as long as there's all them items in there, it's all good. But if one item runs out, then the whole thing stops. And if you're relying on that to keep a boiler running, then that could be an issue. You do not want the whole thing to stop. So it's not perfect, but it's kind of alright. Now these run a lot slower when there's more of them. Each ticks slower, so it should have enough time to keep these stocks, if you know what I mean. So that's the plan for that anyway. And then of course I'm just going to turn this biofuel straight into ethanol and then pump it into there. That's where that's going to be going. Now you need 320 odd buckets to warm up a boiler. I'm not sure what the rate of production is for this. I think, have I got it over here? I don't think I've got the ethanol, have I? No. The ethanol, it's 12 buckets an hour once it's fully warmed up, and it's about 240 warm up, I think. So I need to get some stock up first before I can dare warm that up. I should probably use all this creosote as well, just to give it somewhere to go. I wonder if I can. I don't know why I did that. I could click anywhere on that. No, I don't think I can. I wonder if I can pump that creosote into there via them barrels, but I don't think I can. So there we go. That's my plan. Don't know if it's a good plan. If anyone knows of better ways of keeping these stocks with many items, I do actually need to add some more items, don't I? I maybe do, don't know, pumpkin farm maybe. I could also do a different tree farm. I could have a second tree farm. What that means, for a second tree farm, that's not really going to do that much. I've got quite a good efficiency, 980. So that's, I think, one of each, one cycle will get me nearly a full bucket per cycle. So obviously 1,000's a full bucket. I should probably get a pumpkin farm. I might actually make a pumpkin farm and stack it on top of that one. So there's melons and then pumpkins there. But not sure. Right, I'm going to cut the camera now and let that build up a bit. Show you what happens when it's full. And then let's have a quick check what we've got in here. See what the issues are. So we've got loads of oak saplings. We've got 8,000 there. We've also got load in. We've got another 6,000 in there as well. So oak saplings not an issue. Never will be an issue. It could pretty much probably warm up on oak saplings alone. So I might actually just use. That's a good idea. I might just pump them oak saplings there to warm it up. That'll give us time for the rest of the things to catch up. Seeds is alright as long as I'm not producing seed oil. That might become an issue when I produce seed oil. Same with melon seeds, and of course melon seeds I need to turn into melon, from melons into melon seeds. The netherwort and the cocoa beans are both at about 1,500, so they're alright. But I had some of them left from the base, of course. And then the ones that are low at the minute are carrots. I've only got like 170 odd carrots and 140 odd potatoes, so I need to let them go for a day or so, I think, before we do anything drastic. Right, I'm going to cut the camera there. I think next episode I might have to start getting on with ME crafting, because that's holding us back. We have now got a second boiler running. You see now, because this has gone over 100 degrees, the actual engines have kicked in, so these are starting to, these are already filled these up. Remember, these two was empty. So now I've got 288 MJ tick capacity, so I can easily use get ME crafting going. I think next episode will probably be that. Right, I'm going to cut now, see how long the episode is. Back in a sec. Okay, we're at about 30 minutes, which means I've got a bit of time left. I wasn't going to start putting stuff into tanks because As you know, in 1.6, King Lemon's changing how all liquids are done. So I don't want to have big stores of liquids because I'm going to probably lose them all anyway. That don't mean I can't store anything though. I've been a little bit extreme in refusing to store anything. But remember these iron tanks? They've actually, you get a little bit more than you used to. You actually get 8 instead of 4 from iron plates. You used to get 4, I believe. Same with the gauges. You get 8 instead of 4. And the valves. So I'm sure Greg will take that at some point. But they seem to have doubled the amount of blocks you get, which is pretty cool. You can also dye them, which is pretty cool as well. But even more cool than that, even more cool, an iron tank can store 16 buckets per block total volume. But we've also got now steel tanks, which hold 32 buckets per block. So I'm going to make a little steel tank to start dealing with this biofuel ethanol, and I'm going to have it here. I'm actually going to put it in the ground. I think I'm going to sink it into here a bit. I've got a cunning plan. Don't know how cunning it is. Might only be partially cunning, but what I'm going to have is right down here. I need to make another sound muffler for these bloody cows as well. The sound muffler that I made before is actually across where the tree farm is. So these cows are quite irritating with their noise. Right, so I've got the bits here ready to make this. So what I want is, I think I need 3 lots. Let's get into my crafting screen. I think I need 3 lots of tank walls. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to spread them around there. And because ethanol is orange, I'm going to make these orange, because why not? So that gets us 24 of them. And then, what else we want? We want some valves. No, that's not correct. That middle one needs to be a lever. Let's grab a lever. There we go. No, that's still wrong. Okay, what have we done wrong? Okay, let's press C, rotate them around a bit. There we go. And we can dye them as well. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Come on, fool. And let's dye them. And then some glass, which I believe is in a fire pattern, and I've probably got this wrong as well, but no, there we go, that's right. And we can make them orange as well, which just means the edges will be orange. Sweet. So we've got loads of stuff there to make a tank. So let's, for fun, let's put this damn thing together. Oh shit, I'm already cocking off. So, steel tank, wonderful. I will be using quite a lot of these eventually. I was waiting to see what the changes to liquids are before I really committed to anything. I think I'm going to have a nice glass block on the bottom there. And this tank's going to need an input and an output, so I'm going to put an input and an output on the side. So I'm going to go input from there, output to there. So what that's going to do is we're going to pump. The plan is, at the minute, is to bring the unifier across here, so that'll unify this into ethanol, and then we can pump underneath from the unifier using liquid ducts into there. So that should work fine. So let's keep putting that, and then obviously be able to pump out of there straight into the boiler, which will also be fine. Should work absolutely perfect. And you see the way this is lined up. You see that line there on the boiler is just brick, and that's what this is actually lined up nice, because that line there is brick as well, so that should work nice as well. Should all be good, should all be good. Who knows, we'll see when we put it all together. And then I'm just going to have one more viewing thing on the top, like so. Oops. And there we go. Come on, are you a multi-block? It might be too small. I think I maybe made it too small to be a multi-block. What's the smallest a tank can go, I wonder? Let's see if it has to be one bigger. No. If it has to be one bigger, then it's going to have to be solid blocks on the edge, which I know I ain't got enough of. I guess it's not going to cause me any harm making more, is it? So let's just make another 8 of them, and let's make them orange, why not? So maybe 3 by 3 by 3 by 4 is the smallest you can have these. Not 100% sure. For God's sake, I can't click the same on life. There we go. No, that's still not multi-block. That's multi-block now. So that little tank there holds 1,152 buckets, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I have to double check that. Let's get rid of that again. Oh, lose the colour when you break them. Interesting. Wonder if silk touching them would keep the colour. So we need to recolour them at some point. Let's see if let's just put that back again there. Yeah, and that really don't multi-block. Okay, so I've now cocked off all the colours. I'm gonna break that one out a second, just so I can colour them orange again. Orange dye is nice and cheap, so that's no big deal. And colour them again. One left of it, no big deal again. And so we'll have to have that sticking up a little bit, which is alright. It's alright. So that, yeah, so even a little tank like that. So this little tank says using iron, I believe, holds 570 odd buckets. Is that right? Is it half? Now it holds 1100 buckets, which is quite a lot of buckets worth. 1152, yeah, so it was 576 before, is that right? So we can set that up to put all our ethanol in, and once that's full, or once that's got a decent amount in, I'll start connecting it up to this off camera. So the things I need to do now is, let's get some liquid ducts. I think next episode is going to be the start of my ME crafting. I think we'll be on time that we should have ME crafting on the go. I'm fairly certain we should have ME crafting on the go by now. How do I want this? The only bad thing is that's going to need a redstone signal on it, innit? Which I'd like to keep out of the way, but there's going to have to be a lever there, I think, which is unfortunate. I don't like levers showing and stuff. I like the fact that we've got levers, don't get me wrong. I'd like to have them hidden. So that can go there, right. But for now, what I need to do is just quickly grab my little... Oh, get off. I'm clicking on bloody structures, I want that thing. I want to grab these 2 portable tanks off here, because I don't want to waste any of this. No point in wasting it, is there? And we can start by putting that into the tank, which is what I wanted to add some liquid ducts for. Like so. Just wrench that so that'll drain. And add the other one. And then we can clear what's left in there, because I don't want to waste any. Cause it's not a big deal wasting any, but you know, there's no point in wasting it if you don't have to, is there? And that should empty that out, which it has. Wonderful. Of course, this is nice because it doesn't need power out of it. I'll just get rid of that. I can get rid of them. And what's going to happen off camera, of course, is we're going to see just how well this little system works, because we're not committing to putting it into the boiler yet, but it will be going wrong. So you see what's happening there, because these are full. So these are all full, that's all full, and what's happening is the items are pumping out and just going around in a circle, going back into there, which maybe isn't perfect, but like I say, if you know of a better way of doing it, please let me know, or point me to a video, and I'll have a go at doing it better. Well, as far as I can tell, this is the best way I've worked out up to now to do it. I'm actually going to do it a bit different. I'm going to have liquid ducts going over there, so I can actually add the lever, because I'm that bothered by I'm that bothered by a lever. So we'll turn that on ready. We can break that. The video's probably getting a bit long now because I'm babbling. And then we can bring that over here. It's still going to have one showing, but what can you do? Wait for facades to cover all these up. So that should start filling that with ethanol, which it has, which should start that working again. Which it has. You can see it's pretty slow, it works. So I'm fairly confident we might have enough. Fairly confident, not 100% confident. Need to wrench that. That'll start putting ethanol into the tank. So pretty soon we should have a full tank of ethanol, and I just need to do a little bit of tidying up off camera around here. Covering things up with blocks. Screw it. I can put a facade over that there. Cover that. So there's just that one pipe showing. I've probably changed the way that's wired so I can cover that actually. Run the cable underground behind the wall or something. The lever. Maybe jumped in the lightning. Right, so there we go. Ethanol production. Ethanol slowly filling that up. We need it to be able to fill that up at 12 buckets an hour, which, looking at that, I'm sure it will. But we need to get a load first, just because it needs loads for its warm-up phase. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope it's entertaining, and I hope you join me next time. So cheers, and bye. And as usual, I'm back again for a second. I never know when to finish an episode. A couple of corrections. One thing from... One thing from James is that with the skeleton skulls do drop in the MFR grinder. I don't know where I got that info from. I don't know if I made that up. I apologise, but with a skeleton spawner down there, if we wait long enough, we'll see that go up to 69. But take my word for it. They are actually coming from the spawner down there, so that's all good. And the other thing is, Griffin Keller, thank you very much, said that I can of course use bone meal in the thing over here, in the bioreactor, and I did this completely wrong, you know. I noticed I put bone meal in then, and there was a gap. I noticed a gap wasn't filling up with anything other than bone meal, so see there's a gap there, you don't need wood in there. So Power Crystals did change it so that if there's something in there and there's something in here, no, if there's something in here, only one stack of it will go into there. So that means this one doesn't get filled up, so I can actually have bone meal in there, and that means I can have a much simpler setup without having to dick around with emerald pipes and all stuff. I've just got a precision export bus on there with them 8 items in. So that's the max I can get from one export bus. I suppose I could do it using a storage bus to get a 9th one in. I'll have to check that. I ain't got a 9th one to use at the minute anyway, but I'll check that and see if I can get a 9th one in there. But that's working wonderfully. I've not got a brick for that, but not. That's working wonderfully. So we're getting plenty. We're getting 1200 now, so we're getting 1.2 buckets per cycle there, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We are close to running out of potatoes, I think. So I think I'm going to set the farms upstairs up to individual farms, just so I can get individual level control on them. I think. I'm glad I set it up like that to have a look, but. It is kind of cool you can do them all at once, but I want to do individual control on them. So, in theory, I could set it up so I've got individual harvesters on the outside and one planter still. But I think I'm just going to set it all up individually. And of course, I can put a fertilizer on here, so I could be fertilizing these guys to get more carrots or potatoes or whatever I'm low on. So I think I'm going to change that setting around a bit. Yeah, potatoes. How many have we got? Yeah, look, we're down to not many potatoes at all. We're having one floating around in there by the look of it. Let's just see how many are in the farm. I've still got a stack of 64 in there, so it's kept up to now, but it's starting to not keep up, if that makes sense. So yeah, we've used all the charcoal up, and we're on to. It's been a few hours. I actually was close to finishing encoding this video, and I realised a couple of mistakes there. Let's just use that charcoal up first. So we've got some charcoal in there, but we're getting to the point where we're on coal coke now. Of course, I need the skeleton farm on to keep getting me coal coke now, but I've got plenty. I've got like 4,000, so that's a good couple of days worth, isn't it? No, it's not. It's over a day's worth, 180 an hour. So it could run for a day without any coal. But yeah, there's 2 grand of coal in there as well, so that adds up as well. So that's all good. Right, a couple of other little things. What else was the ethanol? I said last episode it's 12. It's BC fuel. That's 12. Ethanol's 37. So in this video we're producing this at 37 an hour, which 36 an hour. Sorry, 36. Yeah, 36 an hour. We ain't got quite enough to warm it up yet. 697. We've got up to 403 in there. But I think there's definitely 36 an hour coming through that. I'll time it off camera. And the other thing that someone mentioned, one second, I was tabbing out a second. Top Tota said, of course, I can use all this creosote for use in making EU in a semi-fluid generator. Oh, I think it's a semi-fluid generator. Is that the one? Semi-fluid generator, yeah. So I put him into a tank for now. I was messing around. I'm going to look at putting this into a semi-fluid generator and using it to generate my EU, seeing as we've got it anyway. Right, video's a bit longer now. I apologise for that. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.